They were flying in zero visibility, in the dark. Even the attempt of making the journey east to west across the Atlantic had been banned by most countries. Anyone who had previously tried it had died. Midway, going across the Atlantic, they can see very threatening thunder clouds in front of them, and they know that there's no way of really navigating around it, so the only option in this tiny little aircraft is to go through it. Fitz describes so vividly the winds and the winds pushing this little plane down in towards the water. All he can see is the white foam of the waves crashing up, and he likened it to the white icy fingers of death trying to pull them down into their watery tombs. I'm Martin Turish, and I'm working with the wonderful music generation Laois Orchestra to compose a piece called The Impossible Dream. It celebrates the life of Colonel James Fitzmaurice. James Fitzmaurice was one of the pioneers of Irish aviation and indeed world aviation. He was born in Dublin in 1898 and moved to Portlaoise when he was 4, but spent all of his formative years in Portlaoise.
We were really excited to reconnect with Martin Turish and work on a new musical commission dedicated to James Fitzmaurice, who was this pioneering aviator from Portlaoise who was involved in the first transatlantic flight from east to west in 1928. So it seems really fitting that we should be involved in some sort of a commemoration of his achievements, a musical commemoration of his achievements.
So Fitz was underage when he ran away to join the army. When he was 18, he was standing there at the Battle of the Somme. There were 850 people in Fitz's regiment, and out of that, 21 people survived, of which Fitz was one. He had this incredible fascination with flight of all sorts. It was the experience of being in the Battle of the Somme. This is where the whole ambition came from, trying to change aircraft from flying coffins and to the messengers of death that they were known as into messengers of peace, and this way of bringing the world together.
I think what's quite different about what Music Generation Laois and our trad orchestra do is that we're working with a composer to create a piece of music in a really collaborative way, and as a result of that, the young people have a really strong sense of ownership of the music. So to be part of those musical performances, then even as an audience, you can get a sense of that emotional connection to the music, and it's kind of a heightened experience for everybody involved.
When we went into lockdown, I think everybody, including myself, thought that everything had stopped and everything was over. But it was the most inspiring aspect to get a call from Rosa to figure out ways in which we actually might be able to connect. And suddenly, I couldn't believe it, that our orchestra went from having about 15 members to about 70 of the most talented, incredible young musicians across Ireland.
Fitzmaurice's ideas was that through aviation and pioneering work in aviation, that the world would open up by people understanding people from other cultures. We wouldn't have as much warfare in the world. And I guess our own experience during lockdown was that we were, isolated, we weren't allowed travel. This project has just opened up so many possibilities and so many impossibilities, and for us it has really become our impossible dream.